What's going on, guys? Ben here, and today we're checking out Synergy. Now, Synergy is a early access title on Steam. It's kind of like a relaxing city builder where humanity, or this portion of humanity, is trying to settle and adapt on an alien world. And first thing for me that just caught me right away was the art style of this, just the drawing kind of aesthetic of this. And obviously we've got like the villagers going around doing their different things and stuff. A little bit similar to Manor Lords in terms of the base gameplay, in the sense of you'll have buildings that you assign villagers to. You will then have production chains. So this is taking this dirty kind of toxic water, purifying it in these basins. The basins then get, the clean water and put it in the water tower. The water tower is distributed to the warehouses and the marketplaces, or the sellers in this case, and then things are distributed out quite nicely as well. We can actually see here, we've got an issue that these houses are not actually linked. So we're gonna need to build another cellar right now. So we're gonna do that. And we're gonna put a little cellar here, right there. Should solve this issue here. We've got a market square as well, which I think we need. Oh, my research center's there. Okay, so I'm gonna need to move that around. But we've basically got an implemented kind of weather system as well. So every cycle is 40 days, in-game days. And it's a little bit like Manor Lords as well. If you keep it on speed 1, it's nice to look at, but you're going to be here for ages. You do want to kind of be flicking between the higher speeds just to get things moving along. But basically each cycle has a season. And we can see here we've got temperate seasons, then we've got a dry season. And dry season means your water production is going to slow. It's going to be a lot harder to do that. And obviously you've got other seasons yet to come as well. And basically as we're playing through, we're going to unlock various different buildings. We've got our kitchen over here. We've got a forge. The forge then uses resources and stuff as well. We've got our pickers cabins, which are going out and getting different stuff. But obviously it's all alien. We don't necessarily know what it is. So when you're first starting out, you're using this field laboratory. You kind of then say, well, I want to research and see what happens what do I get if I cut this down, or what do I get if I forage from this? So there's a bit of discovery when you start a new game to kind of find what resources you've got around and things like that. Obviously, as you play more hours in this, you will then start to know what's in these based on what you're kind of experienced in your previous playthroughs and stuff like that. But it's something then at least that you need to do every time you start, just so your villagers then know what they've got going on. Similar as well, if there's a path, they're going to walk on it, they're going to get some speed bonus and stuff like that. And everything's kind of transferred. So to get stuff into the kitchen, it's got to go from the warehouse or the cellar into the kitchen. They'll then start preparing it. And so you want to leave some people unassigned to a job so that they can then obviously like be ferrying the items around and gathering stuff and things like that. So really just on the other end of a spectrum. If you think Manor Lords is kind of medieval, kind of realistic looking kind of graphics, city builder, and then you've got Synergy on the other end of the scale. Similar concepts, but then sci-fi, futuristic, beautifully drawn, colorful art style, in my opinion, and just complete other end of the spectrum, but then they still have the similar kind of core identity remains the same. I feel like if you're familiar with these kind of games and like Banished, even like Anno and things like that to some degree, not as much Anno, but a little bit, you'll feel right at home with these kind of things here. So yeah, this is a little town we've been building out with not much synergy. I just realized that the market square actually gets a bonus if I have the research center in this area, and I actually built my research center first and I built it over here. So I think you can only have one as well. So I could destroy my current one and rebuild it. But yeah, I can't. I should have really built the market square down here. That's what I should have done. But yeah, we live and learn. Live and learn with that. And one thing in the moment, it's early access, just to go through that. It's at the moment it's 10% off, but that's going to actually end very soon, I think. So it's going to be £20.99 on Steam. And yeah, at the moment there's different options. There's a campaign and a free sandbox kind of mode that we can just free build. Yeah, so the overall games we have the campaign, the tutorial itself, we have the campaign with an actual kind of story going through kind of different progression and teaching you the systems in a deeper way as well above the tutorial. And then sandbox is just the free mode. But you can, if you want to do free mode, you can then just do the scenario, choose which map you want. There's a few different ones. This one, you got the Oasis, where the island with the outer water, Emerald Pond with the inner water and the outer kind of land, and the Ruined Delta, which is just kind of water all over the place. Different scores and things. Everything lasts 40 cycles, so 40 days within each cycle, 40 cycles, and get scored basically on winning, and then your points and things like that as well. And like I said, you can then have a pure creative mode where you get more stuff to start, they're less demanding, everything's just a little bit easier, but you get a half score. And this is more if you just want to just play creatively, have a little bit of a challenge, but not too much. It's not like turned all the systems off, it's just reduced some stuff. And then you got the original mode, which is just as designed, and obviously you get your normal score for that. And yeah, I think like I said, these playthroughs then will kind of just run until you complete them, and then you can then start another one. And we have a whole kind of research system here as well. So we're actually currently researching the Explorer's Hut. This will allow us to actually go and do exploration to other regions, which will then have kind of a risk-reward system of, like, we might be able to get some resources, but it might cause danger to our explorers and things like that. We're going to explore some of that. But the research tree itself is kind of split into two things. We have kind of one that's more orientated around, which is what this research is, around kind of technology and buildings and kind of those kind of improvements. And some of the technology itself, which I quite like, is that you can actually just upgrade the existing technology. So you might unlock like analysis, but then you can actually unlock an upgrade for that as well. So for this one, for instance, for our pickers cabin, we could research fruit preservation, which will then allow us to get better yield when we're harvesting or when we're picking watery pods. So if you then look at your area and you're like, right, we've got a lot of these watery pods around, we can then get some benefit out of that as well. And it just takes time on these sort of things, and it'll tell you how many kind of days it'll take for that research to be completed. And obviously, as we progress through the research tree, other stuff then unlocks, and you start to then be able to get more and more kind of stuff like that. Because I think the actual gameplay and everything is really fine in the loop and everything. There's a lot of cool kind of art style and everything going on, but they've also then got the actual kind of mechanics of the different things working really well. Really like that so far. I think there is a little bit of for me personally, a keybind kind of issue. You'll notice that although you can actually change the controls, you can't actually click in and actually change these. Nothing actually works with these, so it's obviously just a placeholder at the moment. That's obviously coming soon, but if you are someone who maybe you're left-handed, maybe you want to move things around, that is something to bear in mind. That you currently, at the moment for me anyway, I was not able to change any key bindings. F1 and F2 are basically the time speed controls, and I would, on a game like this, I'd rather this on the side mouse buttons or like Z or X or something, you know, like a bit further down rather than right up on the F keys. But it's something you can't change, so just a heads up with that. Obviously, in terms of performance, the game runs beautifully and has no issues there. This type of game, I wouldn't expect there to be issues, so that's all good in terms of the performance. And obviously the art style, as nice as it is, does allow for extra performance gains there, because obviously it's not like it's high fidelity, realistic kind of 3D graphics. Do like would say this is probably one of the first kind of top-down kind of city builders that has an art style like this. Definitely stands out. The colors and everything, the buildings are all unique. Nothing that really looks jarring with this. All the structures look cohesive and looks like they belong, and it looks very alien but still humanity focused and stuff like that. So really intrigued with kind of this game as a whole, and it's just very relaxing. There's no, as far as I'm aware from what I've seen, there's no like getting invaded, there's no combat. It's very much build your city, keep your people happy, explore, develop, research, and meet their needs basically. So we're not actually meeting the needs of our we need branches, and I know for a fact that these things will give branches over here. So we're actually going to set these to be picked, and they're going to go and rip them out and get some branches. I'm basically just going to do that because we've got loads of these bushes around, because these bushes also give food. So that's the pro and the con. We can pick them or we can harvest them, and we're going to be harvesting them. We're going to be ripping them out and taking the branches, whereas if we pick them, we'll get the watery pods, which we can then use for food. So I think we're fine here anyway, because you can see there's so many branches options, and this is as a result of using that field laboratory. We've researched this, so we know what the options are, and you can see the people already going over and getting those branches. We can get a few more of these as well. You can drag and drop these kind of thing as well to get that kind of working, but that's what we're gonna get some there. So that kind of need is now gone. We've got some branches, that's all in there, and we're back to making tools. And you can see up at the top we've got kind of our basic foods. We've then got our cooked meals, and you can see here it says like basic foods are going to make up 20% of the diet. Cooked meals are then going to make up 60% of the diet. Your water is going to be 60% of the citizens first, and how many units of clean water we have as well, and how much we drink and how much we've got. So we can see here at the moment, current size, we're going to be getting 97 units, using 97 units of clean water. We've got 530. We're all good there. Remedies are for if anyone gets sick or anything like that. We've got refined products, which we've only just started doing. I think like these things are going to be used for getting even higher kind of tiers of citizens and things like that. Tools and technological artifacts and things like that too. And then you've got all your kind of resources, ingredients, seeds and things like that. Your kind of natural stuff here, as well as composite matter and stuff too. Now we can say people aren't super satisfied here. Not satisfied with knowledge or culture, but well-being and social is not too bad. So we want to be able to boost this a little bit as well. And this is mainly done through synergies, basically, which I guess is why it's called synergy. Is basically you can see when you hover over a building, you can say it modifies within range, and you get +5. You can see, let me hover over it here. Show it here. I'm trying to see where, I can only see it on the build menu. We can see it says bonus applied within range. Ooh, let's get rid of that. And you can see that then is given certain benefits. And on the house here, you can see the social, well-being, cultural, and knowledge. So you can actually go here and go, right, what knowledgeable stuff is there? And we don't have a lot at the moment. We will be able to unlock more stuff, which is why our knowledge is low. Culture though, you know, if you want to boost some culture, you can then put some decorative stuff down and you get +3 culture. So we could then say, right, well, we're going to put a culture building, little culture bit here. We're going to just pop that there. And they'll go and build that, and that will give this area, these surrounding houses, +3 in culture. You can also then look at well-being. You can have like a little fountain. We could put like a little fountain here and stuff. So you can really go and start decorating your town as well, and having that in mind. And it's all about basically getting these districts. This is our cultural district, which actually has the canteen and the houses. And then I stupidly built my research center in my cultural district, so it doesn't actually solve anything. Whereas my market square really wants the research center to be there. So I think we are going to have to demolish this and rebuild it, which I think is what we're going to do. And we're going to go and build, or we're going to wait for them to demolish it actually. That's what they're actually going to, it's not instant, they're going to take it away. And And we then should be able to build another one. I'm going to build one there. And just like Manor Lords as well, and I'm only comparing this to Manor Lords purely on the basis that it's another game similar in how it plays. Again, the road doesn't cost anything. It's freeform to a degree, but not in the sense that you can curve it. It basically goes along the grid. So, but you can put it down anywhere, basically. It doesn't cost you anything. And just does a 50% bonus as well. We can see the next dry season is going to be coming soon. And so this is then saying that a lot of our plants are actually going to wither. The water and everything is going to be drying out. And then obviously the heat stroke is going to be an issue as well. So medication and stuff in our infirmary is going to be quite a something we're going to have to worry about. The good news is we are prepped for that. And like I said, as it comes close to that, we can always then put an extra person in the infirmary to help with that and stuff too. That's our starting stock still here as well, and things like that as well. You can kind of then start to expand the town out as you go. But we did just unlock the explorer's cabin. So we're going to explorer's hut even. I think we can probably put that, I'm gonna put that there. A little road here as well, just to kind of keep that all around. We're going to open the world map. It's actually going to show us here as well. So we can select a destination. It's going to cost some supplies to go and everything like that. But then we'll be able to see what's there and everything. And it will take longer the further away stuff is. So we can actually see we've got Lake Shores, Strange Glow, Cave, Dune, and the Oasis. I think our actual mission is to do the Strange Glow. We can say how many citizens we want to send. And based on how many we're sending, will base on how much it'll cost us in water and the food, simple dishes to do that. But it also means the more people you've got, the more units you can carry, and the quicker it takes as well, those optional tasks. So we're just going to stay with a minimum of 4, because I think that's all we've got available. I'm going to send the expedition, and they're going to go ahead and do that. 3 days left to travel, and then they'll return 3 days later as well. And that will just happen in the background. And go from there. We can see now that the expedition has reached its destination. So we can then see we get a little description of what's happened here. We'll drop this a user screen protected image showing a rampart in ruins. Which approach will you choose? So we've got extra culture for analyzing the images. Try and draw some water, which is a dice roll. Depends. And then obviously if we had some knowledge, we could have done something different. Condense the steam. We don't have that. So we're going to analyze the images. We'll get a little bonus there. And then we're still going to roll the dice. And it says the cylinders allowing the projectors to create the screen are covered in condensation, which, delicately treated, can be collected. So, and it's rich in minerals as well. So we're actually going to get some technological artifacts as well as some water. And that's just the roll of the dice there. Return to the city. We get a little summary. And they're going to come back automatically. And then you can start sending out, when they come back, you can start sending out people to different areas to like see what's there and stuff like that. I think overall, as a city builder, I don't feel like it's unique in the sense of what it's setting out to do. Like I've even mentioned, like comparisons to Manor Lords and stuff. There are stuff that's similar here that you will find in other city builders. What's unique with this, in my opinion, is definitely the art style, the setting, and the music itself, and just the chill nature of it. It's definitely tapping into just enjoying the city building and optimizing. And so if you're into city building, but you don't like the idea of having to deal with combat and raids and things like that, and you just want a nice chill city builder that you can just enjoy, and it looks pretty as well, and you vibe with the art style, Synergy is going to be a good option there. I think if you're looking for something that's kind of changing the game and breaking the mold of city builders, which I generally do feel Manor Lords was that, with, you know, combining the RTS kind of combat system with it and stuff like that. I would say Synergy doesn't do that. I don't think it's also even trying to do that or saying that it's doing that, in all honesty. We can actually see we're going to reduce our research center by 2 just because we're having a goods hold up. People weren't there to deliver. But yeah, that's kind of where I'd sit with it at the moment. I think it's very very nice to look at. Some cool systems as well with, you know, having to like get the pontoon to get your water. You know, your water's kind of quite an important thing. And with the seasons, there's some stuff here, but there's not enough for me that's kind of making it groundbreaking. It's just a different take on the city genre, and there's by no means is there anything wrong with that. But just for those kind of city builder kind of fans that are looking at this and like wondering if this is for me, I just want to kind of explain as best I could in that way of just kind of where I see this sits in the city builder kind of spectrum. It's done what a lot of others have done before it, but with a cool art style and a cool setting, and allows obviously allows the art design to really thrive and pop. Really cool ideas here. I'd say the culture side of things is quite interesting as well. I think people are going to be able to create some really nice, cool kind of expanding cities with this and stuff. But yeah, I think there's, like I said, £21. It's not like a full price title, so not too bad of an ask. So I think if you're gonna, you know, put loads of hours into this, you might get your money's worth of this and be very happy with that. If you're dipping into loads of different city builders and you're expecting something vastly different, I personally don't know if you'd find that here in terms of gameplay. But obviously, like I said, the chill vibes, the art style, the music, if that's what you're looking for being different, I think that certainly fits the bill. But anyway, just a brief first impressions. Let me know in the comments below if you've checked it out before. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.